Today, we're going on a road trip to the most visited national park. So, which one do you think it is? If I gave you 5 guesses, you could probably get it, right? Yosemite, Yellowstone, maybe the Grand Canyon or Zion. All wrong. The most visited national park is actually right in my backyard, on the border of North Carolina and Tennessee. Great Smoky Mountains National Park. When I first heard this, I didn't believe it. I love the Smokies and I come here all the time, but it's no Yosemite, no Olympic, no Glacier. There are so many iconic national parks, and this just isn't one of them. There's a good chance that you haven't even heard of it. And when you visit the Smokies, it certainly doesn't feel like the most visited park. Those crazy photos of shoulder-to-shoulder crowds hiking Half Dome or Angel's Landing, you just don't see that here.
The most popular national park is feeling rather quiet this morning. No one around.
So I'm spending some time here to really dig into this. Why is this little mountain range in the southeast the most popular national park? And why doesn't it feel like it?
But first, I do want to give a quick thank you to my friends over at Envato Elements for sponsoring this video. And if you're not familiar with them, Envato Elements is a gigantic library filled to the brim with pretty much everything you could ever possibly need to run a creative business. They have footage, photos, motion graphics, After Effects templates, but also like email templates and WordPress themes and fonts and Google Docs templates, all under one very affordable subscription. That subscription has you covered for all of your personal and commercial work with no need to worry about complicated licensing. One area of my work where a library like this comes in particularly handy is for creating motion graphics. I use a ton of light leaks, film burns, backgrounds, overlays, all throughout my videos. I'm sure you can spot plenty of those throughout this one. There are a ton of different subscriptions out there, but what sets Envato Elements apart is just how much stuff they have. I've never seen such a wide variety of different assets all available in one place, and especially at this price point. So if you're starting out and looking to find everything in one affordable subscription, or just looking to add one more subscription service to your toolkit, this is a fantastic option. So if you want to try it out for yourself, there's a link in the description of this video where you can get a 7-day free trial. Thanks again to Envato Elements for sponsoring this video, and now let's move on and talk about this beautiful, very popular park. Alright, so why are these called the Smoky Mountains? Well, because a lot of the time it looks something like this. This park is the second rainiest place in the United States, the first of course being the Pacific Northwest. Super nice weather this morning. Low clouds in the valley, as usual for this area. It rains up here all the time, and that rain translates to a lot of fog and low clouds hanging around in the mountains, hence the smoky appearance. It's also situated in the Blue Ridge Mountains, which have those characteristic blue layers in the distant mountains, so those kind of give it a hazy, smoky atmosphere as well. The mountains out here aren't the tall, jagged peaks you would find out west, more just rolling hills covered with forests, lots of ferns and lush plants all over the forest floor, and of course some nice fall foliage this time of year, seeing as a lot of it is deciduous forest. As for wildlife, there's a lot of black bears and elk roaming around, and the Appalachian Trail cuts through this entire park, so a lot of the trails out here are little sections of the AT, and you'll pass people occasionally who are through hiking the entire thing all the way up to Maine. So why is this the most popular national park? Well, to start, there's no entrance fee and no visitation limit. A lot of parks across the country will implement a fee or a visitor limit to fund park maintenance, and keep crowds under control, and this isn't one of them. Great Smoky also has a much longer tourism season than most parks. Winter in the southeast is pretty mild, so the park can stay open year-round. I mean, the roads will usually close for a few days if there's a winter storm, but other than that, you can come out here any time of year. Now compare that to a park like Glacier in a place with a much harsher winter, which can only be open for about 5 months out of the year. A longer tourism season means even if there are more visitors, they're more spread out, which is also part of the reason that it doesn't feel as crowded as it is. There's also just a lot to do out here. This is the 11th largest park in the country, over 500,000 acres with 6 different entrances. I mean, I live out here and there are parts of the park that I haven't seen. But the main reason that this is the most popular national park is just that people live out here. Way more people live on the East Coast than out west. A lot of visitors to this park come from like Charlotte or Raleigh, even Cincinnati and Louisville. People also don't stay here as long as they would normally stay at another park. The average stay in Great Smoky is less than 2 days, like a lot of weekend trips and day trips. So even if there are a ton of people out here, they're not here for that long. I mean, people will spend weeks in Grand Tetons or Zion National Park. You don't really see that out here. So the main thing it comes down to is just that you're talking about a different kind of tourist. A lot of the people visiting Zion and Yosemite have flown in from all around the country and even all around the world to see it. Whereas out here, it's a lot more just people coming in from nearby cities trying to get a breath of fresh air. It's an interesting reminder that tourism can be more than getting on a plane and going to an exotic, faraway destination. More often than not, it looks like this: a day trip or weekend trip to a place fairly close. Great Smoky doesn't feel nearly as popular as it is, but it's definitely still crowded. Roads and overlooks can be a mess, and some trails are even pretty backed up. But it's big enough that if you're willing to walk a few extra miles, you can escape pretty easily. So why is this the most popular national park? Well, the quick answer is because people live in this part of the country and it's an easy one to visit. But I think there's a little bit more to it. Because coming out here this morning, just like every other time I come out to this park and feel the rain, smell the trees, see the leaves starting to turn, I'm reminded of just how much I like being out here. It's no Olympic and it's no Yosemite, but it just feels good. There's something about this place that I really enjoy. And I guess I'm not the only one.